too far, they need to play against the best 2 teams in Europe for a whopping prize pool of $46,000 and $800. I guess I should have said $46,800. First place takes home $28K though, so a lot of money on the line. You obviously get to do pretty much a free trip if you do qualify through. So a lot of these teams are combating for that. We got VRespawn up against Kangorillaz. Fantastic name, by the way. And I believe this is already live, so you can already hear them communicating in the game, and we already see the attack coming in as well.
Yeah, we didn't actually have the proximity chat on the last time around, so it'd be quite interesting to see what sort of stuff is spoken about.
Or unspoken. So to kind of go over the laps for you guys at home. For Kangorillaz, we've got a lot of Echo Arena background. All players have Echo Arena backgrounds. For them, you got Sealable Bag, who played with Omegators, if you guys recognize the name, and as well as Strembitsky playing for Metamercs. And he's actually going to be one of the best snipers in the game with that Comet, so you can expect to see him at long range going for some shots. On the other side, you got Leverage from Echo Arena. You got Mad from Echo Arena. On the other side, sorry, for VRespawn, you have Codsworth and Kaznaz, who are both from Sprint Vector. And then you do have Vidman from Unspoken, one of the a top player in that game as well. So a lot of background between these two, and I would expect to see something really reminiscent of what we had with our Gravity versus Floaters Unite game, of just some high-level play and really knowing the game inside and out and knowing what meta to use.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of that style of gameplay already coming through, and the way they're actually defending the point. And the little hunting parties they're sending out to attempt to attack. So we are going to have the full frontal assaults, though. The 4-on-4 retake potentially back over towards the point. As VRespawn, they're already hitting that 50% mark, so it's not really ideal. If there is going to be some sort of fight, it needs to happen now.
Strembitsky kind of snuck his way through. He's drawn a lot of attention towards him. Somehow he's been able to stay alive, eventually being finished off by Vidman, but there's going to be a 2-for-2 trade so far, so it comes down to the last 2 remaining players for both teams. Codsworth's going to take down Sealable Bag, and unfortunately for Kangorillaz, I don't think they're going to be able to really take this point back, as you see the fight being taken away from this Umbra towards the high ground, trying to finish him off, and they're able to do just that. Codsworth picks himself up, I believe, 3 in that skirmish, and VRespawn already up to 70%.
Yeah, that was actually such a heavy commit from as well. They sent 2 players off to try and take down that last remaining man, or else they would have already been about 70% here. But here comes the response. Kangorillaz jumping into action, actually looking like they will be able to gain control for the first time, as they have got control of the point now.
Again, we're seeing a lot of meteors being used because of how quickly you can move around. Though, I think we're going to see as many here on Dyson than we would see on our other map, just because on Combustion, there's a lot more terrain you can use to your advantage to dodge around and be really sneaky and really slippery as well. So we're going to see the push come back in again. VRespawn, the last time they did this, it looked fairly good. Kangorillaz had a tough time attacking before, but see if they can change their stripes here as they're going to go for the defense.
Ooh. Trying to contest against it. You can see the proximity heal coming through. Obviously, everyone with that repair matrix trying to stay closely clumped together. The AoE damage starting to burst out, though. On either side has dropped 2 players, leaving them to quite a precarious position here, teetering right on the edge. Look how low they are. Barely holding on. Sealable Bag. I doubt it'll be resealable after that.
And they better just back away too, because they've not been able to contest the point any longer. They're a little bit low on HP. As you can see them pushing through. They don't really have much time to continue to do this, but the rest of the respawns have come back in here for Kangorillaz, as they had everyone left alive. Sealable Bag picks himself up a nice double. Notice Mad gets one for himself onto Vex, and that's just going to be Kangorillaz taking the point back here off a quick retake and a good delay.
Yeah, that was nicely played, actually, with 2 players remaining. Sealable Bag definitely should have been out of the action, but instead they were able to keep themselves into a good spot. Fall back, reinitiate at the correct timing. VRespawn still only on 78%, teetering on the edge. Kangorillaz now bringing this back. It's actually relatively close from the position we were in, but here comes the fight once more. But look how low they are already. Codsworth going straight in with not too much HP.
Meteors from the high ground being shot as well. You can see a lot of damage being done. Strembitsky and Sealable Bag pushing quickly for the 1-man or 2 men who were flanking around from the back. You're seeing them trying to push in from the front door, and Kaznaz is going to be here, but Kaznaz is basically by himself, just trying to stall for some time. There comes some support as well from some teammates, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. If they do eliminate the man on the low ground, Sealable Bag's going to be by himself, who does get the decent damage done, but not the eliminations he does need. And now it's going to be, I think that's Mad, who's just kind of come onto the point, trying to stall for as long as he possibly can. But again, the defenders are going to have the disadvantage. The attackers get to come back in with the normal respawn time. And it looks like they're just going to continue to fly through here, 92% and counting. As long as VRespawn doesn't lose too many people, I think they can close out this first round.
Yeah, at this point it seems likely. They've got the advantage still on the point in the battle of attrition. They're doing well. They are low HP, but they're alive. That's the main factor. There comes back through the heal as well, and they are going to be able to take it. They snap up the first round and do secure it. 100 to 72%. A fairly close affair there. Actually, one of the more meatier games we've had, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, again, we saw like the really organized attacks come into the point, letting the other team take it initially. We see that quite a bit since, just to reiterate one more time, if you're new to Echo Combat, the respawn time is doubled compared to attacking. So if you don't have control of the point, you respawn quicker, which rewards you just to get as much damage. Like throwing people in to get any kills you can, and then coming back together with the man advantage is generally the most ideal way to retake a point back. You see Kazan, the man actually on VRespawn, going to be the one anchoring the site. If you do control it, if you do have a person there and you control it, you do pick up quicker than you would otherwise. And again, skirmish can be breaking down. We do have Kangorillaz pushed out of the point though, so VRespawn getting the early hold.
Whoever's using that meter on the side of VRespawn as well is just chunking health off everyone on the side of Kangorillaz as soon as they're going for these initial confrontations. That was so much splash damage done in just mere seconds at the opener here. And obviously this pre-fight before the point is actually unlocked. We've seen a lot of different styles in the way this has been played out. This one's more of the hectic, sort of heavy aggression from either team.
It's forcing a lot of these repair matrices to come out too, which won't be up. You can see Leverage doesn't have his, Available Vex doesn't have his either, so they've been able to eliminate one from both sides. The point has been unlocked, and VRespawn going for the initial control of it. They should be able to lock this down, but they need to make sure to keep people alive here, and they need to win this fight, or they actually be behind in terms of percentages.
Sample bag going down. Constant battle towards the site. Once again, VRespawn, they've been able to gain the early game control, bringing themselves just up to 20%. There is a bit of chaos around the outside, but they're not really able to fight the main capture point. Everyone's being sniped down as well.
Yeah, Strabitsky on the side, just constantly hammering away. He peeks out for the shot, then backs away, peeks out, constantly applying that extra pressure. If he's not even hitting the shots, it doesn't matter because he's applying just the nuisance, just being an annoyance from that angle, and it eliminates and really forces VRespawn to change their positions, or else they're going to be shot from that position. So really good job by Kangorillaz on the retake, but they still are down a couple of percent, and they still are down one round here in our first map.
Retake coming back over, once again setting themselves up, teetering on the small outer rim. Just spamming down, trying to do that initial damage, but here comes the hectic part. The full-on attack, everyone just spamming away, trying to find those early frags, and it is going to go in favor of VRespawn as they pick up the initial 2 eliminations. They should be able to regain control of the point now.
And he's seen much healing as they can possibly to push back in Vex. He's got to be careful. They have control of the point. He needs to not die right now. Unfortunately, he has fallen. Luckily for him, the rest of the team has been able to clip. And we're seeing a different defense to what we had with Gravity, right? Where Gravity would kind of take people from here, kind of keep 2 grouped up. The other 2 would push out and get aggressive. Yeah. But they're all just kind of sitting on the point together, which means, well, it makes it really easy for Kangorillaz to just force the fight when they want to. They're not afraid of the enemy team coming out to them to meet them halfway.
Point contested.
Yeah, it's a lot more clumped, but they're being able to play quite defensive back as well. You can see it's the constant spam of the meteor there doing that heavy chunking damage. Now they're opting to go for a bit more of an aggressive style, just leaving the one man towards the point. They're very split up here. Oh. Everyone is so low. Oh, mad.
It's almost worth leaving him alive, though, I feel like, because they're going to be forced to use the repair matrix to get him back healthy for the next fight, and there's only this fight left to go, and he's actually coming back in with no health, finally going to be able to heal up a little bit here, but he's not going to have a lot of time to heal. As you can see him coming back in, he's actually taking quite a bit of damage. He actually stays alive for quite a long time, but with Strembitsky the last man alive, I feel like VRespawn are going to take the first map here in a relatively clean sweep here on map 1.
Yeah, nicely done. Obviously both points secured. The quick 2-0 there for him on the opening map at the very least, but it's definitely a lot more hectic in terms of the firefights we were seeing there.
Yeah.
A quite varied style of play from every team. It hasn't been the same across any of the games we've seen today.
So Gravity, at least in Echo Arena, were generally like the top dog when it came to Europe, them or Blast. And then over on the NA side, it was generally Eclipse, which is a part of cognitive deficiency. So I'm expecting like those few teams to be the ones to really stand out. We do have Blast named Blurst, I think is how you say it. Playing in Echo Combat, but we didn't get to see them today, unfortunately. I feel like those are like the few teams that we'll see playing at that kind of level. And it's everyone else's job to catch up. So I think we're even seeing, here with these 2 teams, yeah, they're playing a lot more of a standard game from what we've seen, but they're still not playing to that same kind of level just yet.
There's small nuances that you can notice that sort of worked better from what we saw in the past.
Yeah, and the thing is, they have like a lot of Kangorillaz, a lot of Echo Arena players. So when we move into this next map of Combustion, I would imagine this should be a good map for them, because they have so much mobility and they're so fast to get around the map that they can easily get in positions they want to fight in. I feel like just the fact they do have that much experience in Echo Arena means they could play that aggressive style on defense if they wanted to as well. So not sure what's going on necessarily. Maybe can ask them before we do get the next show underway, which would be in about 2 weeks' time, I think. When we get back to Echo Combat, because next week will be Echo Arena. And I believe next week will... Actually, I don't think next week is Space Junkies. I think it's still Onward again, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's like in April's when they do start for the next one. So Yeah, so 14th of April will be Space Junkies, and then that means like the next 2 shows are onward, if I can do math.
Potentially, because there'll be the 31st broadcast,
say yes.
and then yes, Jason.
Yeah, perfect,
right.
exactly. Yeah,
Well
I think
done.
we're both right. I think we're both wrong. At least if we
both-
go down, we're going down
the
together.
ship, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll take the buckets. You take the wood
with
plank.
Nose Man and Man Man.
The premier superhero combo.
Yeah, which probably no one watching knows since they weren't here for the European show, most likely.
Mm.
It's getting late here. It's about midnight-ish.
Sure.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Thanks. I'm glad we agree. So we're actually loaded into the next map, just waiting for, I think, all the players to ready up, waiting for our specs to get everything ready to go. But we do have... I'm going to see if this is confirmed. See, if production cuts me off, and I know it's not confirmed, I think we do have a second match. Originally, we were supposed to only have one due to a forfeit loss out of content deficiency. But I believe we do have Ignite playing against VRespawn after this. So VRespawn get the chance to get warmed up, get ready to go, and then we playing against Ignite, which is a team, again, that doesn't have, from when I looked at them, a lot of experience in other games. This is, I think, generally their first VR game competitively. Okay. Most of them are like level 2 to 5 on ESL Play when it comes to this game. So not a lot of experience when it comes to other ones, but then again, you know, if they're really good aimers, if they're really good movement for some reason, then they can really take it to them. Though I would imagine from what we've seen just now that VRespawn should be the better team in the match. But, you know, I don't want to be a jerk. I'm going to give them a chance to change my mind. It's just from what I know from last season casting these guys.
That's all right. You know, it's better than sitting on the fence. You've chosen a side.
Sure. What side are you choosing?
I'd probably go for VRespawn as well. They do seem like the superior side.
You're
But then
choosing
again,
my side.
Yeah.
You agreed with me about
true.
the 2 more shows of Onward before.
I know. You're basically my ghostwriter.
I'm your ghostwriter?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So I'm just, just agreeing with what you said.
What does that make me?
Yeah, it's fine. Just agree. Do you not remember the
No,
system? We just
no.
agreed and that worked.
No, you
Now
agree
you've
with me. I
started
don't
to
agree with you.
Well, that's caused a lot of commotion, isn't it?
Why Ghostwriter?
I don't know. That's one I'll leave for
You
you.
just said any other
We'll come
hero?
back- Well, yeah, we could have, but it's too late now. You know, these
We're
are
not
the roads we've
Thanos.
taken.
We're not 50-50. We're both in agreement.
Yeah. Well,
Please tell me you've seen that movie.
yes, I have.
Okay, good.
Well, yeah.
Lethal hasn't.
Is he not?
No, so I can't ever talk to him about anything related to comic book movies. I believe we have loaded into Combustion, so we can stop talking about it. So we've seen Kaznaz being the anchor. I didn't get to catch who was the anchor for Kangorillaz. And I'm actually really curious to see so, because Strambitsky is supposed to be one of the best combat players, the best sniper players in the game. From when we saw him just a few weeks ago playing with the Eclipse guys. It was him, Palador, Lemming, and Simeon. Yeah.
Right.
So it's basically like the Echo Arena Eclipse guys with him. And he did pretty well. You know, it was talked up quite a bit. It was Jersey talking him up, who owns Gravity and used to play Echo Arena with them. I don't think he does much anymore. Talking him up quite a bit. So that's a lot to live up to. And we've seen him hit some really good shots. Again, playing from like the outside of the zone on the last map, and was able to peek in, get some early damage, and then back away. And it didn't really help because they didn't win, but he looked good.
Well, that's what it is. We are sort of seeing more sort of defined characteristic roles, really, and what sort of players are doing. Obviously, the anchors that are playing towards the site that are being quite effective.
I feel like you would be a Slayer.
Yeah, that would be my role.
Yeah.
What's giving you that opinion?
I don't know. Guess Ghost Rider.
Yeah, you'd be a tank, mate.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'd be a support.
Yeah, you reckon you'd be a support hero?
I've always played support in most games that I ever play. I'm like more of a methodical player than like a aimer. I did play tank in some MOBAs.
Yeah. I don't know, you give me quite a sort of tank vibe. I feel like that would be
I'm
your
bossy.
role. No, but you're more of
Like a raid leader?
You're the pillar of the team.
Is it because I'm tall?
Potentially. You're the pillar of the scene. Because you hold it up.
That's definitely not true.
No. There you go.
I'm just waiting to see what else you can say. I think we're trying to get our specs back into the game. I think we're having some issues. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Maybe we'll head to a break if I get a thumbs up from our producer, because we're just not really being told necessarily what's going to happen just yet. But I'm excited to see our second match. Again, this is just week 1.
Yes.
Of our games. We still have quite a few more to go with stage 1, stage 2, and then of course the last chance qualifier. I'm really sad we're not seeing Caught into Deficiency. I really want to see the Eclipse guys. It's kind of interesting to me to see how teams have transitioned from Echo Arena to Echo Combat. And from what I've seen, most teams haven't transitioned as a full 3. Again, for Eclipse, for Caught into Deficiency, they had Simeon. He's not playing with them. For Gravity, none of the Echo Arena guys are playing. It's what's his name? Flush Go-Go, who made a team with a lot of unspoken players. So we haven't really seen too many just transition from one to the other, which is interesting considering movement is really important in this game, in this genre of the Echo world. Maybe not great aimers. Maybe that's a good aim.
It looks almost as if there's some teams are sort of currently underestimating how powerful it actually is to have that really good movement system in play, because we saw just how effective it can be, right? And the contrast between game 1 obviously going into game 2, just the rapid increase of movement, how many more attempts they actually had of fighting on point.
Yeah. I mean, and Dyson is a small map, so maybe that's why. I mean, Combustion, I think that's where we really see things stand out.
Yeah, this is definitely the one that has sort of the highest room for skill ceiling. Ski?
I mean, it has the highest room for skiing as well. I mean, you need hills, mountains to ski.
You do. You got to get that downward speed.
I mean, generally, if you ever get upward speed, you're probably going to hurt yourself.
Probably. It's like falling upstairs. You ever falling upstairs before?
No.
It's not great.
Have you?
Once, yeah.
So you mean just tripped?
Well, yeah, you fall upstairs. So you just
like tripped when you were upstairs? You mean going up the stairs?
No, you trip on your way up the stairs.
That's not falling.
Well, yeah.
It kind of is, but it's tripping, because then otherwise it would be called falling.
A fall is a trip.
You guys made this language, didn't you?
Well, a fall is a trip. It's just a various, you know.
Oh, let's listen.
Prepare to capture the point.
I was hoping they would keep talking. That was a little bit of a letdown there. They're talking about 4 DPS though, as you see them immediately climbing in on top of the point. A couple of players on VRespawn actually sitting back, and it seems like it worked out for them. Again, that pillar in the middle, I guess we'll call it the Jason pillar, because apparently I'm a pillar of a team.
Yeah,
you are. You're the central. I don't know. That's even close to true.
You got a strong back.
That is definitely not true. I actually have a tumor in my spine, so we'll talk about that later. Using that pillar to actually just play defensively and just kind of dance around it. We saw that in their European games. We saw it there. The player didn't even drop, and the players on the outside were able to play for just the free damage.
2, 1.
What's curious to me here is how they're actually going to opt to play this one. We're talking about obviously the more aggressive setups where you leave the one player on the site, and they are going to be pushing quite heavily. They split up into the 2 separate squads, and they're actually making a meal out of this. VRespawn just chomping down on everyone in front of them, Jason.
Yeah, Vex was able to push up quite heavily and kind of catch them out. They left one player to go for the cap. And again, this is the aggression we wanted to see that didn't happen on Dyson when we think back to how Gravity played. Except this time they had control of the point. They got aggressive with the other players. You can still see, though, Leverage is very low on health. And he's not being healed up either. He's kind of just trailing in the back, so maybe just looking for some free damage. Strambitsky takes a shot. Leverage is finally going to get healed back up. Strambitsky down to half HP, so he's going to be a little bit slow. And look at that, Kaznaz and Caltrith both just eat massive amounts of damage. Kaznaz, again, is just constantly eating shots left and right. But the percent is ticking. No one's dying on their team. They have 60% now in this first round, and they're looking good.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Vidman has been able to sit there pretty much uncontested this entire time because of how aggressive they're playing this one. Finally, there is a little bit of a break coming through in the defense, but it's still not enough. Leverage might get close, but it's still not going to work out for him. This could be pretty much a flawless cap here.
It might be. Again, another elimination. Strambitsky gets caught out. The flank's actually looking really good for VRespawn. Now the last remaining players going to be trying to jump in and try to touch the point, but we can see that VRespawn are playing a little bit off the point, trying to kill them before they do get in, and just left and right. No, I don't think... Yeah, I don't think VRespawn lost a single player in that round. Like, a completely flawless round for them. And now one more to go here to close out the series.
That's ridiculous. The way they've played that there has worked absolutely amazingly for them. The aggression was in their side. Everyone was just playing perfectly. They're able to complement each other on the actual aggression as well. And the close range firefights, the one player on the point did his role very nicely. So, it's not looking great for Kangorillaz right now. Oh, they're flossing. They are flossing. I can see movement, Jason.
Nope. Yeah.
Prepare to capture
I mean, yeah, I can't deny it. Hey, that's, you know, they got more people to floss there than some people did in Times Square.
That is true. That is true. Ninja would be proud.
Kaznaz going down. I say both teams actually get really aggressive on the point this time. It seems like VRespawn didn't keep people back further this time. I think one player was actually flanking around, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Strambitsky to clean up the players who were just going to sit back and get the early damage in. And now Kangorillaz have an opportunity here to play with control of the point. They have, I believe, 3 players. Yeah, 3 players left alive. Fortunately, Mad was the one to go down in that initial exchange. And now VRespawn going to wait for everyone to get back up. Splitting up for a 2-for-2. And looking for an opportunity to take this point back. But again, they're going to let the controller go over to Kangorillaz. And then when they go in, if they get any kills, it's going to be even longer respawn. Again, you see the threat scanners coming in, trying to figure out where they are to look for the early damage. Leverage takes a little bit of a damage himself. Kaznaz as well has been gravitating all the bullets towards him, apparently. He's just been constantly eating damage left and right.
They're forcing out those heals. You can see Mad going from nearly no HP, almost back up to full now. But in terms of the overall eliminations, that is free picked up rapidly there for the side of Kangorillaz, as they are just murking their way for everyone on VRespawn. That firefight did not go what we've been seeing as the standard from VRespawn. Definitely a lot more shaky.
Silo Bag takes a hell of a lot of damage. Mad as well. The Comet doing some serious work here out of Vidman. Silo Bag is gone as he gets the double tag onto him. He's going to respawn back in. I'm sorry, he was alive still. Just very low on HP. Leverage, he's going to fall from this, and now they're actually going to take control of the point here.
That was nicely done, just sniping people away from absolute miles. We hadn't seen too much of the Comet actually being used. It was only a few brief instances here and there, but this is the perfect way to display it because that sheer impact you can have. You can just rip off everyone's HP instantly. You can actually connect those shots. Ooh.
Okay, so Cosworth's going to have the help from Vex to get back to the point. The problem is it's going to be a 2v4 for the other two remaining players. Vidman, he's unfortunately going to be knocked out. This Vex is going to come in to get an equal trade. And look at the damage being done to Kangorillaz. Leverage immediately gets taken down. Mag has taken just a sliver of HP, and I think VRespawn should be able to hold this.
Circuits everywhere, Jason.
Oh, look at that. That's pretty. That's nice.
It's quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Circuits everywhere, yeah. It's not really a bloodbath. It's more like a circuit bath.
Right. No. It would be a electrical malfunction. An engineer nightmare on the site. There you go. VRespawn looking like they're going to try and take this one pretty briefly, as it is going to be 80% on the point already. They've already picked up that first round. Kangorillaz, the response needs to come in. They are grouped up, and here goes the fight.
I didn't mean to leave you hanging there. I couldn't think of anything funny to say at all. What's not funny is the damage. Again, Kangorillaz are taking the focus fire out of VRespawn is just fantastic. They're going to get a full cleanup, a full wipe here. And VRespawn are going to take this series in a 2-0.
Very quick, aggressive stuff. VRespawn. They don't really need to respawn, do they? They don't die.